This is chapter 4 and the hands-on exercise number 2. We are still talking about data sets and large data sets and tables, and in this particular hands-on exercise we're going to talk about creating tables, adding and deleting table fields, adding table records, removing duplicate rows from tables, and applying table styles. So we're back here where we left off with the Reed Furniture Store. Remember, this particular spreadsheet has about 107 transactions in it. So the first thing that we're going to do is put our cursor in A5, and we're going to go to the Insert tab this time, and we're going to insert a table. When we go and insert this table, Excel will look for what it thinks should be where the data is housed. And it says, where's the data for your table A5 through J112? And it has guessed correctly. We do want those cells. And it says my table has headers, and this box is checked. And it's true, row 5 does have our headers, so we want to keep that box checked. So there we go. Once we have inserted the table, it looks a lot different than it did before. Now let's go ahead and do a few things to make this look more normal. At the very bottom, we'll go down to the view and we'll hit normal. So now the page break view is gone. We're back to a normal. We're also going to go, and we've kind of frozen we did the freeze panes. Let's go to view, freeze panes, and unfreeze panes. So now this is a normal worksheet except that we have inserted a table. Notice that things turned blue, and that's fine. That helps indicate that we're working with a table, but that's not really the signature of a table. If you look, each one of our headings now has a little drop down, and we'll click on one of them. This allows us to do filtering and sorting. So we can do filters by text or number, we can do manual filters, and we can do sorting. And that's the mark of a table. Now here's the other mark of a table. As I scroll down, you'll see that all of the records, all 107, are correct like we want them to, or want them to be. So all the data is in the table, and we're ready to go. So let's go ahead now and talk about adding and deleting fields within a table. We want to get rid of the whole operator column, and it's very easy to do that. All we have to do is put our cursor in the column that has the operator information, which is column B. And from the Home tab, all we need to do is go to the delete area in cells, and it asks us, do we want to delete a particular cell? Do we want to delete a row from the table? Do we want to delete a column? Now notice that we have table rows and table columns, so that's what we want to do. We want to delete a table column, and we are in column B. Once we've done that, we've gotten rid of the operator, and now we have sales first name and last name next to transaction. Okay, now we're going to add something. We're going to come over here to let's see, J5, and we're going to add our first column to this table, and this one's going to be called down_pay for down payment. Okay, and then I'll hit enter, and notice that it brought that column into the table. I'm also going to type the word owed, and I'll do the same thing there, and it has inserted it into the table. One of the things that we haven't talked about that's very useful is the format painter, and it takes text, the formatting from one cell, and applies it to another cell. We want to apply the formatting from I5 to J5 and K5. Notice this is black and these two are white. We want to make everything in the spreadsheet or in the table black. So I'll put my cursor in I5, come over here to the format painter, click on that, and then I'll hold down that left mouse button and drag it over those two cells. And it has now taken the formatting from I5 and applied it to J5 and K5. Okay, now we're going to talk about adding rows, but first I want to just expand a few of these columns so that we can read all of the data. There's a few things that are missing there. Okay, so we've expanded those. Everything looks pretty good. Okay, so now we can see most of the data in here. We've got our two new columns. Now let's look at these transactions. If we look, they're in transaction number order. So as we scroll down, they're in complete order until we get to the area with A78. So notice here that we have transaction 66, 67, and then 69. It skips 68. So what we're going to go ahead and do is click on 78, right click, and do an insert, and now we have a blank column. And in that blank column we're going to type 2016-68. And when we start typing, it pulls data from the rest of the data in the column. So all I had to type was S, and notice it filled it in with Sebastian. So we'll go ahead and click enter there. His last name is Grunwald, so GR is all we need to type there. The date is 3/22/2016. We're working with bedroom furniture. I just typed B. We're working with mattress. This one is paid in full. Okay, it's standard and 3,200. Okay, we also have the same thing going on where we skipped a record. Well, actually at the bottom we're going to enter in a new record. So we'll do 2016-104. Again, notice it has been incorporated into our table. Ambrose Sardellis, March 31st, 2016. This is appliances. This is our first refrigerator, so we have to type the whole word. It's paid in full, it's standard, and it's 1,500. So there are two ways. One, we inserted a row at the bottom, and one, we inserted a row in the middle of the table. Okay, next we're going to talk about duplicate rows. And when you're working with very large data sets, you might not even notice that you have duplicates. So let's say we had 1,000,000 rows representing 1,000,000 different furniture transactions. Some of these might be duplicates and we wouldn't know they existed. So if you look in rows 11 and 12, it's the same exact transaction. It's 2016-006, Ambrose Sardellis, March 1st, 2016, and so on. They're completely identical in every way. And we want to have an easy way to identify and get rid of those duplicates, and we actually do. So if we click anywhere in the table, it doesn't matter, we don't have to be on the duplicate row. We can click anywhere in the table. We have a new menu item that says Table Tools, and then it says Design. Let's click on that. And then one of the options is to remove duplicates. We actually have a number of duplicates in here that we have not yet seen. So we'll go ahead and click Remove Duplicates, and it says, well, what do you want duplicated? And we want an exact match on everything that's in the row. So we've highlighted or checked all of these boxes. Then we hit OK, and it says 5 duplicates were found and removed, 104 unique values remain. So there are 5 duplicates that we didn't know about, but Excel has the functionality within the table menu to get rid of those duplicates. And go ahead and hit Save. And the final thing that we're going to do now is applying a table style. And this just makes our table look pretty. It doesn't change the content at all. So put our cursor anywhere into the table. From the Design menu, we have Table Styles. I'm going to go ahead and click All Styles. And then we're going to do Table Style Medium 3, that orangish type. Go ahead and select that. Okay. And then we are going to select A1 through C1, and we're going to do an orange fill color that will match that one. We're going to do orange accent 2. Which one is that? Okay, so now our title in A1 through C1 matches what we've seen at the top of our table in our headers row. Alright, we're done with hands-on exercise number 2 in chapter 4.